Welcome back. This time on Unit 1, we're going to end with Section 4, Health Risk Associated with Body Weight and Body Fat. What do we have in the agenda? Our three main points. Number one, what is obesity and what are the approaches to fight it? Number two, what is body mass index? Sometimes you hear about it. And what is the waist to hip ratio? Number three, we're now going to look at the health risk associated with body weight and body fat. All right? Okay, so let us start. Obesity. I wrote a definition here for you. A chronic condition with weight gain as a result of an energy imbalance that arises when the number of calories consumed is not equal to the number of calories used by the body. This looks a little bit scientific and fancy. We're going to make things easier for you here. So, first of all, I would like you to understand that obesity is not a disease. Please do not feel bad if somehow you are classified as obese, but we need to work on it. Now, you will hear terms such as calories, energy. Every time I will be talking about energy here, I will be referring to calories, right? The energy that we're getting from the food that we are actually eating. So basically, what is happening here, and we'll go through the details of it as we keep on moving forward in the program. Some of these terms, you will be more and more familiar with them. But in very simple terms, what is happening here? All right, when we eat the food, in that food, we have some elements that we call nutrients. And these nutrients are actually substances that we find inside the food. And these nutrients help our body to grow and they help our body to heal. And some of these nutrients are the ones who give us energy. But now, why are we talking about this and the problem of obesity? In a very simple term, this is what we have to understand, is we want to make sure that energy in equal energy out. What does it mean? When I eat, the energy from the food is now inside my body, right? And when I exercise, I'm moving my body, I'm running. That energy is leaving my body. So basically, if you weigh 70 kilograms, energy in and energy out, if they similarly the same, your weight will somehow be the same. So what is the problem of obesity here? I'm sure then you understand that the challenge of obesity is that the energy in is more than the energy that is leaving your body. This is why through the program, we have a section about exercise or physical activity. Like I told you on section 1, we'll be defining these terms since they are not the same. So sometimes we'll talk about overweight, obesity, and central adiposity. And you will hear words such as BMI. The BMI is what people call body mass index. All right? We will not focus so much on the BMI, but we will be taking that values to just put the people into some form of classification so that you know where you rank and how you can change that. So let's go to the next section here. This is how we did classify the BMI. You have here, what do we have here? If you look at here, they will put more than 40. They say you are very obese. And if your BMI is less than 16, they say severe or chronic energy, you are underweight. But the big question that I hope that you have in mind, if you haven't asked me because the opportunity is not given yet, is, okay, Brace, how do we get these numbers? We can play the game. Very simple. We put BMI. How do we get this number? We take your weight in kilogram. Remember, what we said is before you start the program, we want you to have a scale, right? You get your scale and you put yourself on the scale and you know your weight. And in this time, we put your weight here. So it's kilogram and we divide by your height square meter. How do we do it? Let's just do a very simple example here. Let me think about this. We say, okay, this person is about 70 kilograms, all right? 70 kilograms. And how tall is the person? The person is around 169. So what do? We square it here, and we're going to have our BMI value. Here it will be 24.5. Okay, guys, don't be impressed. I already knew the answer before we started the program. Before I started this, I already knew the answer. So it's 24.5. So if I'm 24.5, so the question here is, okay, where am I here? You just need to come here to the table here. You look at here, 18.4 to 24.5. So this is normal, and the classification is normal. So what does it mean? So in medical, we usually recommend people to be between 18.5 and 24.5. But this is very, very important. I want to put emphasis on that. And this is why, even though the body mass index is a very important measure in terms of the classification, it is not the same for all races in the world. In Korea, for example, we see the Asian body and the composition, the fat composition, is a little bit different. So the classification is not the same. In Korea, for example, people will be considered overweight if the body mass index is over 23.5. In Canada, a body mass index of 23.5 is actually a normal classification. Now, why is so different in Korea and in India? We will see that even though people may look like they have a small frame, they tend to accumulate more fat. So we understand that the body composition is different. Now, if you look at some other people, let's take an example of a very popular athlete, a tennis player. Maybe you know this lady called Serena Williams. She's tall and she's well built. If we measure her body mass index, she will probably be classified as overweight. But in reality, she has a lot of muscles. So we cannot just take the body mass index as the only measure in terms of our health status. The body composition of a person A to a person B is different. And I hope you understand that and you don't feel too bad about yourself. But still, this classification is very important because that will be the first step in your weight loss journey with us. And we will show you how did we do with our people, the people that we had. We had people who stopped and they were over 30, meaning that they are actually obese, right? And we work so that they reach a certain level. But again, not everybody will have a normal weight. This is why on the second section, we ask you to have realistic goals. More than losing weight, we want you to have a healthy lifestyle. So please enjoy the journey and don't focus so much on your body mass index, but just through routine good habits, you will live a healthy lifestyle. So other than the body mass index, what do I usually look at? I look at other types of measures here. I look at the waist circumference and what we call the waist to hip ratio. These are measured in addition to the body mass index for the presence of central adiposity, talking about fat. And we know that they are correlated with the risk of cardiovascular disease. So when we look at it, a general classification, we will hope to have 80 centimeters, 102 for female and male respectively. So in our program, as we take your measurements, we will be focusing on the waist to hip ratio here and hoping that if you are a man, is below the 0.90, and if you are a woman, we hope that is below 0.85. And as we go through the journey with you, We will show you the data of the people that we have in our program and how the waist to hip ratio keeps on going down and sometimes fluctuating. So it's a very important measurements that we look at really mostly for you to know where your health status is, not really focusing on the body mass index at this time. And again, these are just measurements and feel free to send questions our way. So let's come back to obesity and the causative of obesity. We usually ask people, why do you think people are obese? And the general response that people tend to give, they will often say, oh, people are obese because they eat too much. Is it true? Other people will say lack of exercise. Or is it genetics? All of that are actually factors contributing to obesity. Pregnancy, the use of some drugs, and we know that a lot of women after a pregnancy they have trouble losing weight, right? It happens to many people we have around us, and we know that also the use of certain drugs or some certain hormones can actually contribute to increase of fat tissue in our body. But what do I really want us to look at here, and what will be my point of interest here in talking about this, are the risks associated with obesity. So, my friends, if we put obesity here in the middle, sorry for my writing, what we usually know, and we know that for sure, that obesity, excess of fat, is associated with high blood pressure. That we know that. So this is why in that weight loss journey, the focus is not just to lose weight, but it's to regain your health. We also know that obesity is also associated with what? Is also associated with type 2 diabetes. All right? So we have to really be careful about this section. So I'm just going to put diabetes here. 90% of the people who have type 2 diabetes, science is showing us that they are obese. So it's a very important factor. Or we talk about pre-diabetes or diabetes. So we have to look at it. We also know that diabetes is also associated with the risk of cardiovascular disease. Obesity is associated with cardiovascular disease. So we have to look at it. We talk about heart disease. We talk about atherosclerosis. So therefore, so then what do I do? Some people will tell you we have diabetes in our family. We have high blood pressure in our family. So then what can we do? And when we look at them, we say, okay, maybe we have to look at the food habits. Maybe there are things that we need to change. So how do we change it? How do I fight obesity? And I put it here on the section number 2. We talk about how do we fight obesity. My friends, there are usually 4 methods. In our case, we'll only use 2. We can do it with a healthy diet. That's the basis of our program. We'll show you how to have a healthy diet. The second one is through exercise. As you can see here, I did not put physical activity. I'll explain to you the difference once again. One will go on unit number 4. The difference between exercise and physical activity. So, and lastly, and these are the options that we discourage, but oftentimes are used, medicine or drugs, or in some cases, surgery. Personally, in my university career, I did some research using natural products to fight obesity. So we believe that some drugs can actually be used to fight obesity. I personally recommend natural products. But what are natural products? Natural products are coming from the food that you are eating on a daily basis. So which means that a healthy diet can actually replace these drugs. In fact, against obesity. So remember, once again, for this program, we hope to only focus on exercise and a healthy diet as the tools that we will be giving you during the journey to fight the excess of energy that we may have. Number three, weight loss strategies. And this is where during the sessions that we have with you, you have the opportunity to ask these questions again. You have opportunity to be helped in a personal level. Successful strategies, please, and I emphasize a lot on this one. And there's a reason I emphasize a lot on this one. I'm talking about small changes. I prefer, let me find a way to highlight it. Small changes here in red. All right? Small changes. Remember when we talk about section 2 about the goals? Let the goal be realistic and accept the small victories, small changes. I'm losing 500 gram this week. I'm losing a kilogram this week. Don't try to lose 10 kilograms in a week. Accept the small changes, right, to reach your goal. Reasonable goals, we talk about it on section 2. Reasonable rate of weight loss. I just mentioned it a few seconds ago. We talk about 500 calories per day. And once again, relax. We'll talk about the calories. We'll talk about how do we get them, how do we calculate them. For BMI between 27 and 35, we already know what the body mass index is. We'll be working with that. So please, just be ready for small changes and the victory will be on the way. So what is the best approach for weight loss? Reduce daily energy intake. We're talking about the food that we put in our body. So let's look at here. And this is again a slide that I hope will be part of your journey with us. With evaluation of obesity, we're going to do some physical assessment. How do we do it? Like I said, we have to take your weight. We need to take your height. We need to actually measure your waist circumferences to really know where you are and how can we help you. We talked earlier about the psychological and behavioral assessment, and we do that with you as well. The evaluation of a dietary habit, remember on the first section, that's what we did with Gloria. Every week, we receive pictures of what she eats, and in our encounter with us, we are able to modify or change what she is eating. And she still has enough energy, she still feels good, and she still has a normal lifestyle. And be ready to lose weight. You must be excited about the journey that you are embarking with us today. Once again, my friends, just remember what we had on section number 2, SMART goals here. Always remember the SMART goals. Your top 3 goals that you have, your starting weight, as we mentioned, right? We give an example. We say, okay, you start at 110. By week 4, where are you right now? By week 8, where are you? So you can play this game. You say, okay, maybe by week 4, you are 110. By week, maybe you will be maybe at 90. I do not know. But we'll just see how you're progressing with us. But this is the sheet that we will be providing to you so you can follow along. We can follow together how you are progressing. And we have enough data to support what we are doing. So what are the take-home points here? Please remember, obesity is not a disease, but a chronic condition with weight gain as a result of energy imbalance. Love yourself, but make a decision for your own life because you want to live healthier and longer. The waist to hip ratio is a preferred measure for cardiometabolic risk factors than elevated body mass index. And that's the one that we hope that we take these measurements with you as well in that journey for weight loss. And finally, the 2 preferred strategies to fight obesity is through, what did we say, a healthy diet and regular exercises. And that chapter about exercise is a very important one, and we show you different ones that we believe can work well for you. So again, my friend, Thank you for this journey that you started with us. That's the conclusion of Unit 1. We'll be starting Unit 2 at our next encounter, and but in the meantime, we'll be giving you some quiz for each section. Before you go to any section, we would like you to complete the 4-question quiz for each section. And if you have some questions, please feel free to contact us. Congratulations again, and have a wonderful day. Bye bye.